We do it live.
Are we live?
Star Wars.
Mm, no, it was 2 months
um,
ago.
Welcome back, people, to the 14th annual DC shits.
Is that correct?
I don't fuck if I know, dude. It sounded good. Uh, I mean, give or take like two or three. So I mean, shit, I'm in the ballpark. Um, I think this is gonna be a pretty short one too. Now I've said that in the past, and we went for two and a
Really, this
half
is a long
hours.
movie.
It was a long movie, but it wasn't a long movie.
There was a whole lot of nothing happening a lot of times.
Right, which is funny because I actually noticed it. I had to like pause because I was doing something, and it was right when young Barry gets his powers. So I paused and I look at the thing, and I was said, Jesus, I'm 1/3 of the way movie, like 1/3 of the way through the movie, and there was still an hour and like 45 minutes left.
Hmm.
I was like, so how long is this intro? I was like, because nothing's happened. They haven't introduced a singular thing. Um,
He saved the babies.
Dude, listen. When the building was going, I said, oh, not the babies! They did that shot, it got me.
Hmm.
But then they made it too far when they put each individual baby in like a life or death situation with some like fucked up Final Destination shit.
Yeah.
It was funny though. I gotta say, maybe I took it the wrong way because I was like really serious. Oh my god, the fucking babies! Then they did that, and I was like, wait, what's going on here? He put the one in a microwave. I said, what the fuck?
He was saved from the fire.
That shit was funny though. He pulls the baby out of a microwave. The lady fucking lost it.
It made sense because he's mid freak out and you don't know what the fuck's happening.
Shit, she should know. Probably they have television. She should know like the Justice League exists.
Yeah, but she's in that fucking life or death moment. She's not like thinking about that.
Well, she was already on the ground, so that's what got me. I did think she was a little dramatic, cause he like literally looks at her and like, hey, you're safe. Or hands her the baby or something, and she's like, freaks the fuck out and just screams in his face. I'm like, you couldn't have said nothing else. That's your first
Mhm.
response, like. But she could have actually maybe had like an actual whatever it's called, like a mental breakdown or something, panic attack, right? Maybe she
Right.
couldn't even see him. She didn't even know what he looked like. She was like head was spinning or something. I don't know. But it was a bit dramatic. I'll tell you what though, throughout the whole movie, starting with that first scene, this movie's fucking gorgeous. Whew.
Right.
They had to have spent the billions of dollars on budget and all the special effects. It was everything was beautiful. Um, so that shit was good. I didn't understand this one line in the beginning. He said, "I'm the janitor of the Justice League." Oh, that doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense to me. He's powerful as fuck. Why would he be the janitor?
Well, it's how they're using him because he's got super speed. He's,
Oh, I see. So it's like, hey, you do this real quick because you can.
yeah.
That makes sense. Did you see Batman in the beginning? It looked like he was CG for a lot. Like I was like, is that a real guy's chin? I was like,
Yeah, that's Ben Affleck's chin.
I didn't know. It was like for a couple shots, I was like, is that really him? But then at the end, on the bridge, when he finally like stopped moving too quickly, I was like, oh, there he is. There's a sexy boy.
Yeah.
But dude, my baby showed up. She said, sorry, I'm late. I said, oh, you can be late anytime you want. Better late than never.
Our favorite Batman line in every movie. My ego doesn't allow me to apologize.
That shit was great. He just starts rambling. Yeah, and really, I just try and do all this stuff, and I'd be better off just getting rid of my money, and I just have issues with my parents and stuff. I was like, Batman, what are you doing? Then I seen the
It
fucking.
was like my money could be better used than me fighting a bunch of criminals in the street.
That shit was funny. Um, but let's see. Because overall, I don't have much to say, so I'm just kind of already just diving in chronologically because I really don't have a lot. um, it was solid. I guess that's one thing just to get out of the way. This movie is pretty solid. It still has some checklist issues. Like I don't
Mhm.
think Iris needed to be in the movie at all. Um, she
Irish.
didn't. Iris, she didn't add anything meaningful at all to anything. So if
She
you
was a
just
journalist.
fuck that, she didn't do anything. She was there because the checklist says we have to have romantic interest. And I get that
Hmm.
that exists. It's like but I mean, like Peter Parker, he's got Mary Jane, but fuck it, just don't put her in the movie. She doesn't matter.
Hmm.
I get that they have these counterparts in the comics and shit and the storytelling, but there's not enough room for it in the movie. So just leave him out, and then maybe introduce him later or something. I don't know.
But it led to one of the best jokes in the movie when he cleans up his room.
Boo. It was kind of funny though. It's a lot tidier than I thought it would be. Yeah, I'm a pretty tidy guy myself. That shit's funny. I did think the storytelling was a little cheap in the beginning with the time travel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because all he did was stop his mom from dying, and then that was it. That caused all that shit. I don't believe that. I don't think she was important enough. I don't think that I get they introduced with the butterfly effect. Yeah, I still don't even agree with that because there's no way like, oh, I shifted a blade of grass in Kansas, so now the Japan government has a completely different structure. No. That's not how that fucking works. You had no direct contact or effect on any of those things. So I thought it was a bit, hey, we're just doing this. But I didn't give a fuck because it was good. I was really invested just because I was like, what's going to happen? Who's going to be this? What's this going to be like? What's that going to be like? So it definitely worked. But it did feel a little cheap, but not too bad. So I think it's worth noting, but that's maybe not something to like really, I'm going to take away from the movie too much.
Yeah.
One thing I really didn't like, though, that was definitely I'm going to take away, is the shit that I talk about. The same thing I bitched about where, like, when people come out of sleep, like I've been sleeping for 1,000 years, they're just fucking ignorant when they come out, like some kind of Neanderthal. Why is it that they always turn recluses into fucking barbarians? Because as soon as you show Batman, just because he's old and lives by himself, why is he a fucking maniac with the long hair and the scraggly beard and, like, eating with his hands and fucking jumping all over shit? Just seems like some kind of barbarian. Boo!
He's depressed.
You think
He's
that's
depressed.
But you think that's enough to make someone turn into like a barbarian?
Got the long hair, yeah, and the scraggly beard.
I mean, he was just like throwing shit on the floor. There was nothing tidy. He just like didn't give a shit about the mess. He even spoke like kind of weird. Like
what shit did he throw on the floor?
There was just shit on the floor. He was like stepping on. And there was like a mess laying around. Even before they destroyed the
house
kitchen.
was clean.
Huh?
Most of the house was clean. Also, he usually has butlers to do shit for him. It looks like he's just trying to get by on his own. Like Alfred probably died and he didn't want to replace him.
That's possible. And maybe I'm just too jaded at this point, but I just get sick and tired of every time you see anybody ever who's fucking lived alone or is in a recluse state. It's one for one. I can probably pull up so many movies. I don't have them off the top of my head. I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
It's always the same guy they're eating. Look at Luke. It's the same. Luke is another great example. When we go back to Luke and he's been living on that island, he's a fucking savage.
Yeah.
Why?
Batman's that way though. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point.
So I don't. It just maybe I'm just being jaded. Maybe it wasn't as bad, but I did feel like that's where they were leaning on, and I was like, this is too much. You want to express something? Don't make it so tropey, Because I don't think Batman. He's always been shitty and alone and depressed. So like it.
Yeah, we always had Alfred.
Yeah, but I don't think it would turn him into like so much of that. But maybe I don't know.
I think he's just depressed because he mentioned that like Gotham is fine, the city's safe. They don't need Batman anymore.
Right. So shouldn't he be happy living a billionaire life?
No, he found out that's not what he wanted in life.
He sounded happy when he said it.
Yeah, but clearly by the long hair, the beard grown out, he just is jaded. He's like, yeah, I got what I wanted. There's no reason for Batman to exist anymore. And he got his spark back whenever the Flash mentioned the Justice League and all that stuff. And he was like, what did you say our team was called again? He was like, Justice League. He was like, I like it.
Yeah.
So it looked like he got his spark back.
I guess that makes sense. Sense enough anyway.
And he cleaned up after that.
I'm still tired of it. Every movie, I'm sick and tired of shit, man. But I guess it was more or less okay in this situation. It's just unfair to this movie.
Yeah.
That I'm like that, I guess. What else? Shit. Oh yeah, pretty much spoilers from the promotional material. I was like, well, I know Clark isn't here, so it's definitely. I was like, so they're definitely gonna find Supergirl. So what the fuck? Because he was like, we're looking for Clark, and then he like literally searched the news and like all the different residents for someone named Clark, and then he gets the information in the morning. I'm like, he's not here. He doesn't exist. I was like, so what is her name? Clarkette? I was like, I don't understand how the fuck you found her like that. And I didn't. Oh, good.
He was doing a search on UFOs sightings,
Oh, okay. So yeah, it wasn't necessarily.
and
It
he
was
still
after
couldn't
the
find
Clark
it from
search.
that. And Batman saw what he was looking for, and he said, "Oh, I found it. The Russians didn't report it. They had this um random object crash in their country."
Right. Okay. But yeah, and then I did notice it was a pretty nice little touch. It was on like the transmission from Zod. He said,
Hmm.
"You have one of our citizens," but he made very sure not to say
Yeah,
Kal-El. I was like, hey, continuity. That's nice because I thought they would just reuse all the shots from the old movie, um, which is
no, they came
cool.
back and refilmed some stuff. Cool,
So yeah,
not
they did a
refilmed,
pretty
but
good job.
whatever.
Um, I loved his outdated thermal scope when they were fucking going to the base. Um, that shit was funny. All his outdated tech. Is he gonna hack that with a flip phone?
Bruh.
That shit was so funny. Batman was so cool though when he jumps down and beats up all those guards after they get caught.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh! Also, they did him really well, by the way. The promotional material made me really nervous about how like goofy and stupid he was gonna be. He was
Right.
great. I don't even know how they did that. Like how? Because there wasn't even any of it. I never caught any goofy or stupid or nothing. But that was the only image I had after their fucking commercial, and I was like, how? Where did? How do you go so far in like a different direction that's not even in the movie with some of the shots, unless it was
I
trailer
think the
specific?
trailer only had him go, "I'm Batman," and that was it.
Was it? I thought he said something. At least one other line. Maybe it was the smile on his face. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe the
There was
smile.
definitely something that looked like he was a joke, like he was lying about it.
Right.
Or he was like, "Let's go fight some crime" or some shit, and he like hopped over the railing. Or there was something in the commercial. I was like, "What? What is this guy? Who is this guy? He's not brooding or cool or nothing." I was like, "Where's Batman?" But then he is all those things in the movie. I'm like, "What?" Um, but let's see. Continuing the breakout. Fucking Flash is funny. He's like, "I got shot. I got shot. You didn't tell me we could get shot. Why would you not assume that's a thing?" That shit is funny. Um, but
What about
let's
the thing
see.
with his mom and his dad?
Mom and dad, they were great. Just a happy family, and I liked the mom mainly because she was just a regular person, and I guess the dad too. They weren't super hot or super handsome or like whatever. They were just regular people. And I like
I don't
that.
know. The mom could get it.
Shit, she was still pretty. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like she was some kind of troll from the bridge, but she just didn't have that whole like movie thing going on.
Hmm.
And I like that. Sometimes you gotta have that. I think, and because we get it. Sex sells and hot people sell, and you want your movies to be the most attractive because it's what people
Hmm.
want. But sometimes it would be nice to see like even a main character who's just regular, and not regular because that's the butt of the joke, right? Just something like that be just more nice. But I don't know. There's a lot of things I want for, but then I don't know if it's ever gonna be good. Because like I think there was actually something in this movie. Maybe it's in the notes, but I remember like, man, I wish they would have done something like this or something different or something better. And then I was like, what if they do so, and then it's not good? So that's definitely something I try and keep in mind too.
Hmm.
Um, but let's say they show up, kick some ass. This is almost halfway through the movie now, and still like almost nothing's happened. Well, they had the cool thing with Batman and them, I guess, getting to know him. But they
Hmm.
find what's her name. But she had her suit in the cage with her. I thought that was a little weird. I was like, what?
She was wearing it, or I know she wasn't wearing it, but it
No,
came in her pod. So
right. So I was just wondering why the Russians threw it in there with her, but they changed her clothes.
I think was it
Yeah.
Superman's in his pod? No, Superman's wasn't in his pod. It was in that other spaceship, right?
Yep. He got it from
Yeah,
them because he was like his family's outfit.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And it was because it wouldn't have been in her pod anyway because she was a kid. Um,
Maybe they would have. They had another spaceship, just
yeah,
like
maybe.
Kal-El's.
And then they put the suit. Hey, is this yours? They put it in there, but she never put it on. I don't know. I get they had to have it for story's sake, but they could have introduced that a little bit better. Not a big deal. I'm not gonna like take a
Hmm.
bunch of points away or nothing, but it was a little like that doesn't make any sense. I thought she was pretty good though. I thought she did a pretty good job. I was worried she'd end up in like some SJW bitch,
Hmm.
but I think she did pretty good. They leaned a little bit on it, and this is where I don't notice these things myself normally, but I did hear someone complain about it. How it's like every single modern movie for the past 10 years has been nothing but like every female character is just the most god tier powerful being, right? I'm a 15-year-old girl with no experience, but now I'm everything and can destroy even the seasoned pros at everything. And I was like, huh. And then I was thinking about that because I was just worried about, stuff like that creeping back into this one. And then sure enough, I guess during her fight with Zod, she just beat the shit out of him for like a while. And I was like, dude,
She died in each every time.
Right, which I liked. They brought me back from that. That's right. I know where I was going with that. Is at first I was like, oh, here we go. Kal-El, the big, strong man who's been absorbing the sun for like fucking decades. He can barely go toe to toe with him. And then she just shows up after like a day or two of getting some sun rays and just beats the hell out of him. But
Right.
then eventually she ends up losing. So I was like, okay, maybe, he ended up like just underestimating her, or just kind of let her do that. Because at one point he lets her come close and then snaps back to life
I
and
don't know if
stabs
it's
her in the
because
chest.
Henry Cavill was older than that girl was during the Man of Steel movie, but she does not seem like she's older than Kal-El.
No, not at all. I assume it's a retcon, and that's why I didn't understand when they were like, "I was sent after his pod." I was like, "No, you weren't. You definitely were not sent after his pod. He was the last person to leave the planet when his parents took the fucking Codex thing." I mean,
That's a
even if
different
you,
timeline.
I mean, she said it in their timeline. She said the last son of Krypton sent out here by my uncle or something.
Yeah, but
And
the
I was
other
like,
timeline, they didn't send her, but in this timeline, they did. They had time.
I guess they had time.
They had a little bit of time. They sent
But
Kal-El either a little early or they sent him a little late.
I guess so. Yeah. It's
Or
just
not a
weird.
little
He
late,
needs
just a
a
little early, and then they were like, "Hey, we still have time to send one more baby. Let's send our niece." Yeah.
right,
Oh.
and then she was just like way younger. Well, she couldn't be younger. I mean, it's timeline magic, so it doesn't matter. But it did feel weird. I was like, yeah, she's
She would
definitely
be
like,
older because she said she remembered all that stuff. So
right, which would have made Clark like old as fuck. But then
no, Clark would have been a baby, or
oh,
Clark was a baby when he was sent, and she was probably a little older. She was probably like 2, so she has like some vague memory of it.
oh yeah, I got it backwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he would
Yeah.
be just like, yeah, it doesn't make sense given the timeline, because then yeah, she would have been like a
So
grown ass
unless she
woman.
was in her 20s, but she looks like she's like 15, 16.
Yeah, no, she was
So
definitely like a child.
uh,
So I don't know,
it's
and
just
I
'cause
just
the
wish they would
actress
have
is
even left
small.
that alone. The whole storyline of that is really a little convoluted. Just
Initially they were gonna have Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill didn't want to do this movie. So
oh, I didn't.
no,
Got you. So yeah, they could have just changed anything.
like
Like
it was like, there's no point that so you guys are retconning after this movie, anyways. I don't care to be involved.
that makes
Um,
sense. Because he
yeah,
puts his heart and soul into it. I feel like he loves this
yeah,
shit. So why
yeah.
why do that for nothing?
But
um,
he did give like on that on Twitter he gave his blessing about her taking over as Superman, or
right.
Supergirl.
It would have just been cool to have her just be the new thing, right? Like, don't do all
Yeah.
this shit with Kal-El. Don't do nothing. They just
Just be
keep the
like, oh,
story.
in this universe, she's a fucking. It was a
Right.
girl.
It was her,
rather
yeah.
than
That's all you had to do. She dropped. She was the one they were after. It's the same story, same song
But
and
then you
dance,
don't
but
get
it's
that
her.
cool emotional scene where she goes, "What did you do?"
Boo. No, it was
That was
pretty good
cool.
though. It was a really good scene. I said, "Holy shit, she's pissed." Uh,
You
he
killed her
said,
baby cousin.
the infant did not survive. God, I love Zod too. He's always such a fucking stoic bastard. I love him.
The
Uh,
infant did not survive.
he's a really cool villain because he's not like a shithead. He kind of is, but he's believable in a way. I don't know. Yeah, he's like he's just a villain that I kind of like. Right? He's a piece of shit, but he's not wrong most of the time. He's just a little extreme, but he doesn't do it maniacally. Right? He's not like I'm a maniacal maniac. I love killing humans. It's like
Right.
no, it's a sacrifice we're willing to make.
It's a sacrifice
So-
I'm willing to make.
That shit is funny. Um, but yeah, I think she did a pretty good job too. I don't like some of her stuff she said though, which again the whole retcon. This is again the dumb shit. She said
Yeah.
that means hope, and something something. Our people mean hope, and I was like, no, they don't. Your people are the farthest thing from hope. They were terraforming the shit out of planet after planet after planet.
Not the clan of L. The clan of L were great people.
Boo. She said my people. She's talking about Kryptonians.
She's talking about the L's.
I don't believe that. You could probably interpret it either way, but it sounded like she was talking about Krypton. He was like, he's not one of us, and it made it sound like she was talking about Kryptonians as a whole. Because
Right.
even when they stopped terraforming planets, because she didn't know that, right? They probably hid that history from her. So
Right.
she didn't know that, but she still should have known that they're not allowed to have
She
natural
got
births.
brainwashed by the clan L. Right.
Because they literally don't let you have natural births. They fucking damn near enslave their people for the perfect genes. It's like they're definitely not good people. They don't do anything for hope or freedom or nothing. And she should have known some of that. But that's why it was weird. I was like,
But
if it's
the S and all this, I would say it's not really a retcon, but yeah, because the S does stand for hope, and
yeah,
it's
that
been
was what
around
his
forever.
parents did. That was like their clan symbol
Yeah,
too, I think.
yeah, it's their clan symbol, yeah.
Um,
Because
so
if you
that
see
was
like
fine,
Zod's key ring, it has a different symbol on it.
right? And I guess yeah, they're cousins. So I don't know if that's mom's side, dad's side. They would have had a similar one.
She's a
Um,
well, if I mean, yeah, if their fucking traditions hold up, like most Earth traditions, she
mhm.
would have got it from her dad, from or Clark would have got it from his dad's side, and she also would have got it from her dad's side. So their fathers would be brothers.
Had to be right, 'cause she's an L, isn't
But
she?
yeah, unless they get their clan name from their mom's side, so we don't know.
Right. Why does she have three names? She's like Cora Tor L or something. Why does she have an extra one?
Because there's some hyphenated name like call
Well, Cal L
uh
had a hyphen, didn't it? I thought that was
well, they had a
first and
hyphen between
last.
his first and last name. Yeah,
Right. So she
hmm.
should have been something L.
Kara Zor-El.
Zor L. That's what it was. Yeah, it was something L. Yeah, Zor L. So then it's like, I thought her name would just be Zor, right? Your name is Zor L. I don't know. Not
But she's
important.
Kara. She's
Maybe
Kara.
Kara's like her Earth name. No, because then the Russians wouldn't have gave
No,
her a
her
name.
Earth name was something else.
She didn't have a
But
name,
okay.
right? Because the Russians didn't
No,
give
she
her a
didn't have her
name,
Earth name in the movie. No.
which makes sense. I don't know. Not important. Supergirl. But yeah,
Well,
so that's
Cal is Zor-El, is he not?
Cal Zor L, Zor Cal L. I don't know.
No, it's just Kal-El.
Right. So I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe she's fancy because some people have
Whatever.
fancier names, right?
Yeah,
Maybe she's like maybe women have a fancy pretty name where they give them the double. I don't know. Um,
maybe.
Not important, but those are little things that I'm like, just don't do any of that. Just leave all that
Mm.
shit alone, or just maybe make it very simple. This way, there's no room for discussion. Because the more room for discussion, then the more holes that get poked, and the shittier your stuff looks. This isn't like I'm saying it makes it look shitty, like oh this
Right.
movie sucked because of those things, but they're at least noticeable enough that they came up in discussion. So, um, but let's see. Dude, when he was getting his powers back, holy,
Yeah, the
fucker
women
got
do get
zapped.
a two names because his mom's name was Laura Lorvan.
Also, women get the double.
Yeah.
I see. That makes them fancy.
Oh, okay, I get it. So yeah, her mom, they keep their maiden name, but they add their father's first name to their maiden name.
What? Wasn't that going to be infinite if you keep
So be
going
Kara
generational?
Zor. So Kara would, yeah, eventually it'd be infinite, but yeah, Kara's father's name is, well, I guess they just dropped their father's first, the other first name if they have it.
I think
But
I
yeah, so
understand.
Zor was Kara's father, and
Oh,
he um okay, weird.
wait, it's her father's first name.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
So I
that's
thought then
weird.
that makes
I'm
him not a
confused.
L. He was a
That would mean
Zor.
that would make, I mean she's married. You know, because Laura Lorvon is Laura's maiden name, as
Hmm.
Lorvon is name of Laura's father.
Oh,
So
that's the
why
whole
is
name.
yeah? So why
Okay.
does Kara have that if she's not married?
Right. Maybe it's like some stuff that came from the comics that they just put back in without any forethought.
We'll think about it. I'll find it in a minute. But it's fine. We can continue talking about the movie.
Right, right. Dude, now when he was getting fucking zapped for his new powers,
Right?
that fucker was almost dead. It's go again. I said, Jesus Christ, that shit was real, and then Batman did it. That was the coolest part. Is the fact that Batman he barely hesitated a tiny bit, but not really. He fucker just all right. That was a very Batman thing of him to do. I was like, that shit's good. But then she shows up unannounced, and I was like, why is she here, and how does she know what they're doing, and why is she helping? And I was like, maybe she just has super hearing and overheard them, and
Yeah.
decided to. But I had to kind of wrap my head that way around like some headcanon. But it did feel a little weird. She just shows up and like finishes the process. I'm like, what? Um,
So yes, it is in fact that is their father's name. They get named that, and they don't change their name. That way, people know they're from the clan L or whatever clan they're from, and who
mhm.
their parent was. Even if she gets married to another clan, but her kid will not inherit that name. Her kid will inherit her.
Oh, it's one generation deep.
Yeah,
So she'll always be an L because her dad was an L, but then
yeah.
she gets married, and now she becomes a whatever L2, and
No,
then
no,
their
no, no.
their
She
son
doesn't
is.
change her name. She doesn't change her name at all, even if she gets married.
Oh, okay.
She
But then
keeps
the
her
kids
name.
would.
The kids would have her husband's name.
Right.
last name, unless they were girls, and then they would have her husband's first name and last name as their last name,
Right, right. Okay.
and that's why
Makes
she's Zor-El. There you go.
Well, there we go.
You're welcome.
This is what we're here for. This is the good shit. This is what
The comic book shit? No, we're talking about the movie. You know, like the whole bit with the Flash is like a meeting that his parents after he saved them or whatever, and then realizing that he's not in the correct time period, and then running into his younger self from an alternate timeline where
it was kind of funny, but it didn't matter a lot, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't have the emotional weight. I mean, what did I get from that? I guess
it was well, you didn't get nothing from it, but it's to show Flash, hey, this that tragedy made you who you are, because this is who you could have been if you didn't have that tragedy happen in your life.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, because the things that he treasures were like that fucking monkey he got from his mom, and he's studying to be a fucking, what's that shit called? A forensic scientist because of his criminal justice guy, because what happened to his dad.
Right, that makes sense. He's very serious. He's very headstrong. He has all these good things, and he's fighting with himself constantly throughout the movie. That scene was good, by the way. Holy, so yeah, whatever, mom. And it's like fucking dickhead, and he just lost it. I said, oh my god. The fucking emotion pouring out of that scene, like holy shit, that was a good one. But I never caught that throughout the entire movie. It was literally telling him Batman was right, like the shit that he's turning into. He doesn't like himself. He was like, you fucking talk too much, you're annoying, you don't focus, you don't care about anything, you don't understand shit. You're fucking up the most important toy that we ever had. Or fucking, you know, he's like, what? It's a stupid toy. She buys them for us all the time. I was like, damn, he doesn't know.
Right.
And that shit's good. So yeah, no, you're right. I never thought about that as far as like all his frustrations with himself. He never noticed it, and this is why I'm stupid as a viewer. This is why you're here. Because he never noticed it, I never noticed it because he never said it. Because I need to be told, not shown sometimes. Or at least on a rewatch, maybe.
Maybe on rewatch you back it up, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He actually, he did kind of become a person he doesn't like. And it was like he never noticed that until, you know, I was later. So that's a good one. I think those individual scene was okay. He put a bunch of pillows on him. I thought that was kind of dumb. It's like, why are you playing games putting pillows on this guy?
To keep him subdued. Well, it's just...
Well, he kind of forced him to. He's like, Mom, I'm gonna get you in trouble. Right. God, I was pissed. When he did that shit, I'm like, are you a fucking 2-year-old? God, I can't stand you. And then I was thinking, like, that's how, now that in retrospect, that's what Flash was thinking too. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it was
is
annoying.
This really me?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That shit was funny. Yeah, he was just a fucking layabout. He was kind of a shitty person. Not shitty, but he was just a fucking bum almost. No good head on his shoulders. Kind of just lost fucking around.
Yeah.
He was in school, I guess, but I don't know if he was passing or nothing, you know. But
yeah,
I'll tell you what I really liked, though. Another good moment was when he saved Supergirl. Because they get there, he was like, this isn't Kal-El. This isn't who we need. Batman's like, well, then we better get out of here. Let's move. And like, well, we gotta save this bitch. Like, we can't just leave her here.
Right.
And then she heard that. She was all weak, but she still heard it. And then she mentions it later on. Like, why did you do that? I wasn't who you wanted. I wasn't what you needed. But you did that anyway. Why would you do that? And it was like, well, you know, it's supposed to save people.
Right.
Her motivation made sense, too. Why she was like, I don't give a shit. I'm not here.
Right.
I'm not from here. These people fucking suck. They kidnapped me and tortured me for fucking 30 years or whatever. Like,
right.
Fuck these people. If they all burn in hell, I don't care.
My first thought was we were getting fucking Red Superman or whatever the fuck that one is
right.
called.
I think they were hinting towards that is what I thought. I said they're going to hint towards that.
I think they initially planned that whenever they were going to get Henry Cavill, and I was like, no. It's fine. But yeah, nah, she was good.
Yeah, I'd like to see her more as like a character and not as a person, not a character, right? In like the next movie.
Yeah.
Because she definitely was hard to like identify with, because she just shows up, she's angry, she has the whole moment on the roof, and then comes back and saves them. Then it's the end fight. so I don't really
Yeah.
even know anything about her. Like, what is she like, dislike, personality,
Right.
nothing.
Right.
So hopefully that can make a comeback, or if she keeps getting cast, or maybe
We'll
they don't.
see.
Um,
I think she's still gonna play Supergirl when her in the I forgot the guy's name, James Gunn verse. So
right. Well, that's cool because they can introduce Supergirl now with Superman because of the whole
right.
multiverse thing. And they could have them fight together. Uh, Dude, you see
Uh,
Nicolas Cage as Superman?
yeah.
That shit was great. I seen the hair. I said, who has that
Oh
long,
yeah,
sexy
that's a
hair?
reference to a movie that never got made.
Oh,
Uh,
was it really?
yeah, there was a documentary or something that Kane watched a while back that he mentioned it to me, and I was like, I had to go look it up, and yeah, it never got released. Or something. I think it finished filming and everything, but they never like. I think the producers didn't like it or something. They never released the movie.
Dang. I wonder
It
if
was
that's the
supposed to
right
come out
call.
around the. It was supposed to come out around the time of the Dark Knight and all that stuff.
Nicolas Cage as Superman. That's fucking funny. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I don't.
He looks so funny, right? With the
Right. I'm
long
like
hair.
he doesn't have that Superman chin, that face. I mean, he's not. It's not saying he
Right.
has a weak chin, but he just doesn't have that sort
He's a
of.
good-looking man, but like he doesn't have that Superman face.
Right. There's a certain look that he has in Superman. Like that's why he did really good as Ghost Rider. I felt like.
Buy him as Batman, even though Batman also usually has a strong jawline.
Right.
Um,
It'd be
but
hard
I'd
to
buy
get
him as
the.
a Batman,
He'd do a no.
especially
He'd
with
do
the
a good
voice.
Bruce Wayne, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
If he had like the dark hair, the suave look, I could see him doing a pretty good Bruce Wayne. Yeah. Um, and as long as he can get the voice right, Batman's not hard to do.
right.
As far as you just have your chin and the good voice, and you're
I mean,
fine.
he kind of already did Batman in Jackass, or Kick-Ass. Uh,
Oh yeah. Um. So yeah, I think definitely my favorite role by him by far is still be Ghost Rider though. That shit was awesome.
I have to rewatch that. I watched that when it came out in theaters, and I don't remember like anything.
That shit was cool. I think it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember it being real cool. Not like blockbuster best shit ever, but it was just fun, exciting. I also had Sam Elliott. Oh baby,
Yeah,
if it's got Sam Elliott, it has to be a good movie. That fucker melt my heart with just a couple words.
yeah, but like most of the other worlds are alternate universes were also fucking like references to shows or movies. Or,
Got you. I did like the one that was cool, the old Superman.
yeah,
It was like one of the first ones they showed.
Christopher Reeves,
Yeah, that shit was cool.
the Adam West Batman.
Bro, I wonder if that shit's gonna make a comeback, like
What, the Adam West Batman?
those style, right? Like a TV show
Oh.
Batman. I wonder if they're ever gonna do TV show Batman again,
No,
live
they'll
action.
never. That shit ruined Batman for years. People couldn't take that shit seriously forever.
Zap, bang! Let's get out of here, Batman.
I would have loved to see fucking Adam West though in one of the newer Batman movies, just as like a side character or something, just to
Right.
give him the respect. But because of how like bad that fucking show was, no, how badly that show ruined the image of Batman, like Batman fans don't want to even give him any kind of respect.
That's funny. Poor guy.
I love him though. I love that fucking show.
Right. Did you see the Bat Berry suit? That thing
Yeah.
was buff. Yeah, I didn't know that shit looked kind of good. I was like, maybe Flash should be this buff all the time. I like the suit a lot actually. I was pretty surprised.
I like when he was making his fucking suit and he's like fucking filing the fucking
Right? Just spray
the-
painted it. Like, bro. He said, "This thing's nice. Look at how limber it is." That shit was funny. I have to imagine it's only that limber because he's not as big and buff as Batman, so he doesn't even
Right.
fit it.
right.
This has a lot of room in here. Yeah,
Well,
because you're
it's-
tiny.
Dude, think of that. But yeah, it makes sense. The mask also doesn't fit properly. It kept fucking getting moved
Right.
over.
He's such a small guy that like he can't fit the Batman shoes metaphorically and physically. So,
Yeah.
but the suit looked buff. Yeah, it was cool. But the fight was good too. Like the whole fight scene, not because it was obviously beautiful animations, but just looking at the difference in technique and growth and everything that he had for a couple years. It's
Right.
like, my, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna make a cyclonic overload something, a cyclonic charge or something. He was like, "What? You just go punch him." And he could barely do that. And I was like, "Yeah, that's
Right.
kind of funny." I like the little bits where they were showing that throughout the movie of like how
Did
shitty
you
he
catch
was.
early on that one fucking thing was supposed to be that kid from the future?
Which kid?
The Flash, they meet inside the fucking multiversal connection area.
Oh, you mean the bad
Uh,
guy?
yeah, the bad guy.
Yeah, no, that was the brother. Well, not the brother. That was him.
Yeah,
That shit
that
was
was the.
good. And this is one thing I wished I was like, can we get more of that? I want more of that. But there's no way to
We
get
can
more of that.
save that.
Um,
He was so
that's what
fucking.
sucks.
He was so old and fucked up.
Right, dude. Like his fucking body's like deteriorating and shit. Um, it was so good though, cause yeah, when he first introduced, I'm like, oh baby, the big bad. Who is that? Reverse Flash? There's gotta be something crazy going on here.
I think it's supposed to be
Um,
Reverse Flash. Yeah.
and I was like, there's gonna be something cool. They're gonna fight. I don't even know what's. I was like, there's other bad guys. I was like, we have to worry about Zod and them, but this is the real big bad. And then he never showed up. And then it was like, finally he does show up at the end, and then they have like a little tuffle, and I'm like, motherfucker, it's him. And that's no wonder he didn't show up. He wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to save everyone. But he couldn't. I don't believe that though. That's also a little thing. I'm like, I don't believe that. You definitely could have saved it with
Right.
some amount of something. I don't care what the fuck it was. I don't care what you had to do.
It was a
There was
canon event.
some amount of time you could have went back in the past and
It,
solved it.
it was a canon event, Trey. It had to happen.
Boo!
Like
God, that's the
like the
dumbest
Spider-Man
shit. Right.
movie.
It's like Spider-Man shit. Like it was
Yeah.
not real spoiler, but definitely there's something leaning like that in the Spider-Man movies, and it's like,
It's the canon
come
event.
on.
It had to happen.
This is fucking stupid. I like the idea though of like people being drawn to each other, right? Like, oh, these people are like Alfred and Bruce and all this other shit. But then what if it's like in some timeline Bruce and Alfred are like competing companies or something, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're still drawn to each other somehow, but the relationship doesn't have to be the same or end in the
There's
same
an
way.
alternate universe where the Joker is Batman's butler, or Joe Chill, the guy that killed his parents.
That's cool. But yeah, see, like that. Like, there's always ways you can do things. But yeah, this whole idea that no matter what he did for how many infinite years was he doing that, right? He has control over time. So it's like he could have been doing that for fucking 6,000 years. And it's like not once you didn't find a singular way to even go back far enough. Now, he could just be stupid
Right.
and only went back 10 minutes and tried to fight him. It's like you don't go back 10 minutes every time. Sometimes you go back like 100 years. And then you move the pod and train Kara to be mad strong or something. Like, there's just so many different ways. You could have fucking got technology, right? Found a timeline
Yeah.
where we have space technology, fly to Krypton and save them entirely. Then Zod never
I
comes to
love when
Earth.
he said, "Why? This isn't even your timeline. Why do you care?" And he was like, "This one is the one where she's alive in." Like, bruh, that
That's
shit
good,
got me.
right? Nah, that shit's good. It was like, fuck it, if I can save her here, then, you know. And I didn't realize what that meant until like the end when he was talking about that. Because then the original Barry, well, it's different. He wasn't just going to lose his mom. The whole world was going to fucking die.
Right.
But then he mentions that, like, yeah, if the whole world gets blown up, his mom's dead. And it's like, oh shit, now he has to struggle with that pain. But he can't. He can't handle it. He's not ready for it. He's still young Barry. And then it's like, so that's when he turns to like the not really bad guy, but turns into the dude trying to fucking force it to happen. I'm like, yo, just the relationship between Barry and himself was like really well done in this movie. It's a bit subtle, I guess. Some of it, I think, because at least I missed it, which I'm not a good example. I'm not a good judge of character when it comes to like missing subtle things. So maybe it's better, but it was really well done for subtle or not. On like just how people grow as a person. Okay, there it is. There was never a message that was taught. You see him do all these things, and I guess in the end you do see him go back and he puts it back together. Well, not really. He at least saves his dad, which fucking entirely fucks the whole multiverse again, which I thought was funny. I'm gonna fix it. No, you don't. You just fucked everything up again.
That shit was so funny. When Batman showed up, he's like, "You're not Batman." Yes, I am.
Right?
And it was fucking. It was Pretty Boy. I can't remember his name right now. Fuck. Damn it, that was his name.
Which one?
George Clooney. It was fucking Clooney showed up
Oh yeah.
because he played Batman in Batman and Robin, or Batman Forever, whichever of the two.
Right. I can't remember.
The one with the bat nipples.
The one with I forgot about that.
Dude, I was dying because literally like 2 days before that, I had mentioned, I can't remember if it was Chris or Kane, and I said all I just want is one. I just want Clooney in one. It's just a cameo or something.
Right.
I said, oh my god. Yes.
But yeah, no, the whole time stuff I thought was cool, but as is time stuff, some half the time it just doesn't land well.
Yeah, time travel always it's gonna be fucked, and
Right,
they write it however they need to get their movie right to
right,
make the movie make sense. So.
and it's not like this one was bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was pretty cool. It's just
Mhm.
some of the motivations or the plot holes are what get me. It would have been cooler to see him do something different, or it was like, oh,
Mhm.
I fixed it. See, I fixed it, and then he goes back in time and does some other fucked up shit. So it's like, yeah, you went back crazy amount of time and did this other crazy bullshit that fixed this, but you didn't realize you fucked this other thing. Then it's like it introduces Brainiac or some shit. It was like cool, but they don't know that, so then they think that they saved the day. But anyway, back to that cool ass fight. They fucking got me when Bruce died in the first timeline. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I said, Bruce. He said, Jack did Jack. That shit wasn't going. I said, oh my god. Then he fucking sacrificed himself and it did no damage. I said, oh,
He did the
no.
same thing that one dude did in the Man of Steel. He drove his fucking
Oh yeah.
carrier or
Um,
whatever.
that shit's so sad. And then they fucking brought him back, obviously. And I was like, oh, thank God. I said, whew, it's gonna work out. And then it didn't work out. I said, oh shit, this is getting bad. Dude, I'll tell you what, the bomb sequence that Batman had with the fucking the big dude, the big giant man. Oh my god, when he's like flippy dippy, go around the back, plant a bomb, go on his legs,
Right.
plant a bomb. That shit was so good. Oh my god. Um, that shit was pretty good. I like his line too. He was like, "It's okay. I can go back. I can save you or something, or I can make this better or something." He was like, "You already
Right.
did." He said, "I can bring you back." He was like, "You already did." I was like, "Damn,
Mm-hmm.
son, Batman's so cool."
Oh yeah.
um, I'm not even a Batman fan like that, but these movies, whew, they've been doing something. Just like Wonder Woman. Shit.
He's great. He's
Um,
fucking good. He's the one that's had the most cultural stuff. So you can't
right,
quite fuck him up anymore.
right.
This is difficult too.
I will say that's like one thing I thought for a second is that Flash is the one who killed his own mom.
Yeah.
I honestly wish they would have done it like that, but they didn't. Because
Yeah.
that would have been super dark, but super like
I
good.
think they wanted to throw off the people who already knew that the origin is what it was. Man,
Wasn't it just a car crash?
I don't remember.
I thought it was like a car crash. I can't remember though. Yeah, this specifically.
But it was
But I
caused by
thought
Reverse Flash, who is basically fucking Flash, but whatever. Um,
right.
I know he actually has a different name. What's Reverse Flash's name? I can't read that. Ibarthon? Is it just
Oh yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah. I know. I know. Now I remember the
yeah,
name that you said it out loud.
yeah.
Um, it's just been forever since like I don't know.
Barry.
Because Wally was the first one I think, and then Barry was his assistant or something in a lab, and then he
Wally's
gave him
Wally's the psychic. Is Young Flash.
Wally's young Flash.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Barry was young Flash. Wally was the older.
No, Wally's the Young Flash because there's two Wally Wests currently in the comics because they got the original one out of the fucking time Speed Force or whatever, and then there's the one from Infinite Crisis or whatever. Yeah, the Crisis shit, and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Infinite Earth.
yeah. So there's two Wally Wests in the timeline,
Right.
which is stupid, but whatever, fine.
It
Yeah, Wally
works.
West is young is Kid Flash.
Gotcha.
He's also the third Flash. Hold on, what? Uh, he's the original Kid Flash and the third Flash. So yeah, Barry is the second Flash. Who's the first Flash?
I don't know. There was
Oopsie.
like some professor. I can't remember. It's been so long. I thought Barry was like, some one of them was like an assistant to some
Jay
professor.
Garrick is the original Flash.
Okay.
Yeah,
Probably
he's the one with
that's
the weird fucking helmet. Yeah, and the wing boots. I thought it was just him from the past, but whatever. It's fine.
That's funny.
I don't read Flash comics, so it's
No,
whatever.
I'm not. I like Flash, like from like Justice League and cameos and
The
stuff.
only
Where he
reason
would show up.
I know Wally West's name and why he's Kid Flash is because of fucking Teen Titans.
Right.
And the Titan, yeah, all that stuff.
And I know Flash from when he was Justice League and stuff like that. Like I loved it. I think it was the episode of his like him and Doctor Fate. He was like, magic isn't real. The whole episode, he got transported to a different dimension. He literally had some crazy shit happen with Doctor Fate. He was like, yeah, it's just an illusion. It's actually just some particles that do this and this in subspace. I was like, dude, you motherfucker. He's funny though. But yeah, not like a big caught up in like his history and everything else.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie, we're almost done though. His fucking meeting his mom was too good.
Oh my god, that's my favorite scene in the whole.
Holy shit, George! Like, and it's so perfect because it's exactly what would have happened. I feel like it wasn't cool, it wasn't ceremonious, and you could tell he didn't even want to talk to her. I think.
Right.
It was supposed to be like this casual thing, and then he fucked it, and he couldn't help it. You know, he's acting like a weirdo. But that's like the whole thing is he couldn't contain his emotions and shit, so it makes it really really good. And the fucking whole you need a hug? Oh my god, bro. Whew.
Visiting my mom. Do this.
Bro, I can't. She must be so happy to see you. Oh my god, dude.
Just pain. Just pain.
My fucking heart, dude. Holy shit. This movie's good though, yeah, but let's see. Oh yeah, he fucked it up again. I forgot. Cause like the last two notes I have,
Yeah,
he fucked
he
it up.
like realized he's like, hey, if I move the cans up top, it's a small change. Nothing will happen. It's okay. And still, fucking
fucks the whole universe. I'm like, dude, come
fucks
on.
the whole universe. Not nearly as bad, but he still fucked the universe.
And then what is this at the end when Aquaman has like that ring he gets? Is that supposed to be important?
Okay. No, I don't think so. But I was talking with Chris about the ending because when he went to go see it, and he said that it sounded like he said he went back and fixed the timeline, and I said, oh, after that, so his dad might still be in jail in the next movie. I was like, well,
it's possible that when he saw the Batman, you're not Batman,
right?
And then
he went and fixed the timeline,
right? It's not impossible, but then I guess what is that scene with? Was that supposed to show it? That scene with Aquaman that they're buds again, like it's
because he's talking to Aquaman about. He was like, yeah, but Batman wasn't who Batman is, or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So he did. So he's trying to explain to him what happened. Okay.
Right, and he wouldn't have told a stranger that he'd never met in that universe about it.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I could see that. It was just like a thing. I love the fucker can breathe underwater, so he just falls face in the thing. He's like, it's okay, I live here. Stupid fucker.
He pats the water and goes, I live here.
I love it. He's so good, dude. Aqua Chad is fucking awesome. I wasn't sure at first, right? I think definitely when he got announced and cast, I remember being really just a fucking hater. But I do like Aqua Chad, but it's still not Aquaman for me. So I'm definitely putting them in different categories. He's not Aquaman to me. He's not gonna be Aquaman what I used to and what I liked from the comics. But shit, he's fucking cool. I love it. So that you got to definitely
more beer. Here, give them this.
This is a priceless artifact. Gold.
Tell them that.
Right, tell them that. It'll be worth more. Stupid fucker, dude. I love it.
All right.
Oh man, but yeah, that's why I say like this movie's a short one, dude. I didn't think I didn't have much because it's just solid. There wasn't a whole bunch of checklist fuckery to kind of get in the way. All the
Except
good,
for the young romance.
Yeah, I forgot. Yes, Iris didn't need to be in there at all. But whatever. She took a very small portion of the time. Like she had a couple scenes.
Right, she wasn't in that much. And...
Yeah, so I can kind of deal with it. It's a little bit of a waste, but I mean, not a big deal. So yeah, I never felt like there was too much stupid checklist shit. All the scenes were fucking awesomely shot, super beautiful. The comedy was funny. I love that fucker. The stupid. He said, that's the wrong guy, and it's upside down. Is it really? And fucking pulls his foot into like a pose above his head. The roommates were funny. But so yeah, so the comedy bits always hit. The characters are really well acted. I was gonna say except for Supergirl, but she's not that she wasn't well acted at all. She just didn't have any time to act.
Right.
It was just all action scenes or like I'm fucked up and I've been trapped in a cage.
Her little small arc of like I hate humans. Look what they did to me. To I'm saving you guys was too. It was like fast, but they didn't give her any time to do it, and they needed her to be on the team by the end of the thing. So I felt kind of rushed, but it was necessary.
Right, because all you get is she goes, and then you came empty-handed, and they just fucking start slaughtering all the humans there.
Yeah.
She's like, no! But, I mean, that makes sense, though. I actually kind of like that as the only transition, in a way.
Yeah.
Because that's not a transition that she made over some dramatic thing. It was
she
like
already hates Zod anyways because of what he did to her family, right?
Right, and let's say she's always been a good person, right? That's kind of my idea, is like she was always a good person, but she was pissed off about the people who kidnapped her and kind of just resentful. So then when she sees those humans who are just doing their nothing, they didn't do anything wrong, and then Zod just starts killing the fuck out of them, like innocent people, her knee-jerk reaction is, no, don't do that. But then she didn't want to get involved, and I think that's all she needed to remind herself, I am a good person. Are these people bad? I mean, he saved me. And then so when she shows back up to them and tries to help him.
Yeah.
So I don't think even sometimes characters need that much, assuming they were already predisposed to being a good person or a bad person, whichever transition we're going to. If they were already kind of predisposed to that, the transition can be that quick.
Yeah.
But it definitely it feels weird for storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
You remember what he called Arthur's dad?
Bro, I want to talk to Arthur. My dog. He said, "No,
is your wife not the queen of Atlantis?" And he looks over, and she's so bad.
Right? Just some regular, like redneck-looking lady. Just go. I picture. Go and get me a beer. I love it. Nothing. No fishy. Nothing. Oh my god. Yeah, the comedy bits were good, dude. This is definitely a solid movie. I don't know if I'd ever want to rewatch it though, because it seems kind of boring. I don't know why it's boring, but I guess it's because it has a lot of downtime and there wasn't a bunch of cool action.
Yeah, there's a lot of downtime with no like drama or fucking like anything.
Right, no fights, no nothing. Because I kind of
a lot of Barry explaining to Barry about their powers and just stuff. A lot of roundabout stuff.
Right, and the stuff that I guess you needed to have, or else the movie would feel pretty jarring. I'm like, well, how did we get here? But it was stuff that does make it a little bit less interesting. Because I was going to compare it to X-Men, the very first one.
Yeah.
And the very first X-Men, I mean, I don't remember the story being very good at all, or even caring about it as much. But every time something happened, it was fucking cool. When the car gets tipped over and Sabretooth shows up, I said, "Oh baby, it's going down!" And it's just interesting. Then like shortly after, something else is happening. And it was just like watching cool people do cool stuff. That's all I need.
Right.
It doesn't mean the movie's going to be super high quality, 10 out of 10, but for a cool superhero movie, I don't need a lot of stuff just to have cool people doing cool stuff. And I think that this movie does that, but there's a lot of fluff in between the cool people doing cool stuff. Because I wanted to give it a higher rating than I think I'm going to. But then I was like, would you rewatch it if it was 45 minutes shorter, probably?
Yeah.
Because it's cool. When the action beats hit, watching Batman do the cool fights, and like, yeah, it's cool. But a lot of the stuff, too, and there's no stakes with a lot of their fights in the beginning. Well, there's not even any fights in the first half, I don't think. I think that one of the first fights is when Batman fights the Russian goons.
Yeah.
And the fight with the Russian goons was awesome. Well choreographed, just really sick fight. But there's no stakes. It's not like a cool fight like when I brought up like Sabretooth versus Wolverine in the start of that movie. That shit's cool. It's like, oh yeah, I want to see this happen. So when you don't have that, just the fight by itself isn't as interesting. Even though it's cool, it's not enough to make me want to come back. I would still go back for just the pure, raw X-Men cool stuffery of like the original X-Men movies, 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I would watch those again today. I wouldn't go back and watch this because I don't think there's enough that's like cool stuff. Like, I don't get that childhood, like, ooh, cool stuff. But maybe I'm not a huge Flash fan, and that's the problem. If you're a Flash fan, let us know. Would you rewatch this just because it's like, I love watching Flash do cool stuff. He's my favorite. Or was it lacking in, like, the cool stuff?
I would rewatch it to show it to a friend. but I don't think I'd
Yes,
rewatch it on my own.
I would definitely do that. It's like, oh, you haven't seen it? It's good. Watch, watch, watch. I would definitely tell people to watch it because it's a good one.
Partially because of how I rewatched it was when it came out on HBO Max. I went and said, Anthony, you gotta watch this.
Right.
Mostly, I was only going to show him the scene with Wonder Woman, but then after that, we just
Oh,
kept
baby.
watching it.
She's my favorite. She needs to come back in every movie.
Shut up, don't it?
But yeah, overall, I think I'd give this movie a 7. That's kind of high. I don't want to give it a 7. I want to give it a 6.5. I think it deserves a 7.
I'll be giving it a 6.2, just because I kind of feel like it should be a 6.5 if they got rid of a lot of the fluff.
Right.
But I don't want to give it a 6.
Right. It's not fluff. That's the problem. It is fluff, but it's not. It's necessary fluff, right? Like,
Yeah.
we had to know where we got. Maybe you could have cut it by 10 minutes. Maybe some of the stuff.
I got to take away 2 points. Actually, not enough Wonder Woman.
That's not fair. Because if that's the case, all these movies get a fucking negative 20 points, except for Man vs. Steel. Because I want more Martian Manhunter, damn it, and I want more Green Lantern. Why the fuck are like Hawkgirl? All my favorites from all the Justice League have not gotten anything except that one cool scene with Martian Manhunter. Like my top.
We get
three
Hawkman.
Boo! He was so shitty. His lines were terrible, and his motivations were terrible too. Even if you're a cool, arrogant, cocky bastard, he doesn't even cool about it. Fuck that. Hawkman sucked. Maybe someone likes Hawkman. If you thought he was really cool and you've been a huge Hawkman fan, definitely, that's cool. I'm not even a huge Hawkman fan anyway. I always thought he was cool when he showed up, but it's not like I read a lot of his stuff. It's only when he interacts with Wonder Woman, Hawkgirl. But
Okay.
yeah, I think the movie's solid. I think 6.5 is fair, but not really. I think 7 is more fair because it didn't do anything wrong. There was nothing bad. The fluff isn't even bad. But now it's like my rating system is kind of fucked because I've been giving so many ratings out for the past year or 6 months, however long. And now it's like it's all starting to collapse because I used to just be generous with my rating. I said, well, you didn't do anything wrong. You deserve more. This movie didn't do anything wrong. I can't think of one thing to point out and be like, oh, that was bad. They shouldn't have done that. That was poorly shot. That was poorly acted.
Oh, right. Flash was Mexican. 0 out of 10.
That is funny. He was Latino, wasn't he? Or his parents were.
What did they make his mom Latino just so he could make the fucking Speedy Gonzalez joke? Is
I don't
that
know.
it?
Maybe.
Is that the only reason?
Because, yeah, you wouldn't be allowed to do that, right? Unless, like, the SJWs would cancel the movie quick if he did that.
Yeah.
And he was a regular white dude. Because you're not allowed to watch that show if you're white. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was it.
He did the Speedy Gonzalez pose and said, yes, Speedy Gonzalez, I do it all the time.
Right? That shit's funny. It's okay, George. He's one of those indoor Mexicans. That's why he's so pale and seems really white.
No, it's fine. Also, my family's pale Mexicans too.
Right.
My mom's side, yeah, they're all pale as fuck.
But no, yeah, that's. I think I totally forgot about that bit, but it's not important for the storytelling, so I didn't.
Right, no, that's just a funny joke. I mean, motherfucker burnt all his clothes off. That shit was hilarious.
Dude, that was pretty good. Shit, he said, "You gotta try this, man. These flavors. That looks gross." He fucking takes a bite. Nah, I'm fucking with you. It's gross. Stupid dickhead, damn it.
Yeah, it's rotted, right? It tastes fucking disgusting.
I'm giving it a 7. It deserves a higher number. It honestly deserves probably closer to an 8, given the fact that it really is a solid movie. But I'm to the point now where I think solid isn't good enough. Maybe I'm becoming like... You were right when you said my ratings are starting to change. I'm devolving.
Yeah.
Because I never used to watch movies in this way. I would watch them and be able to critique them. But now I'm watching for the sake of critiquing.
Right.
And that's what's making it worse. I used to just watch it and it'd be like, I don't remember anything bad. So I had a great time. 9 out of 10. And that was how I would rate it. Which is why this one would have gotten a 9, right? A year ago, if you were to ask me, it gives me like a 9. It's fucking, yeah, it was great. What is wrong with it? Nothing. But then it's like, well, if you do that, then every movie gets a 9.
Right.
Then there's no differentiation between this and like, fuck, I don't know. Anything better. I can't think of like a good
Dark
movie.
Knight.
Jesus.
Any chance I get.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'll give it a 7. I think 7's fair.
Okay.
A little generous, but I think it's still fair.
That after this movie, that's pretty much most of the Snyderverse. Technically, Aquaman is going to be part of the Snyderverse still. I'm not sure.
Right.
The new or the Aquaman 2. That's months. That's months away. So we
Right, and if
might.
we end up watching stuff in theaters, definitely my review patterns are going to change. Because
Right.
there's many times where I pause to like take my notes. I'm not going to take
We
notes in the
we were
theater.
initially gonna do Batman and Joker, um, as separate to this after we were done with the
Mhm.
Snyderverse. But you said something last week about not wanting to do them.
We can. I'm not super interested in the sense
Yeah.
that like I don't mind it, and they're probably solid movies. But if they're not connected or important, then it kind of just like what's not necessary. But none of this is necessary, so I mean, it really doesn't matter to me. I would kind of like to go to something fresh, something different,
Right.
non-superhero. I don't fucking know. Maybe not. I mean, it's like almost all we've done, right? Is
Yeah.
superhero and or Star Wars, which are damn near
Yeah.
superheroes.
Uh,
So I don't know where we
yeah.
would even go from this because it's hard to review regular movies.
Right.
So I don't know. That's going to be a big up in the
we
air.
we are taking a break after this week,
Um,
so we're taking next week off, and we can take a week to think about what we're gonna watch next the following week.
Right.
We did Disney movies, didn't we? I think we did.
Disney
It's not
shits?
all
No, we
super-
haven't done any Disney shits yet.
Uh,
We could do that. Start a little
we
Disney
mentioned
shits.
Pirates. We mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean at one point.
Oh, that'd be a good one. I fucking love those movies too.
All right.
At least I remember loving them.
That's another Warner Brothers. Because there's still some connected tissue here and there, but
Right, right. I'm cool with that. I like doing the series too. It's at least
Yeah.
something like a good cohesive. We're diving
I
into
might
this.
end up separating. I might going on YouTube and actually like changing the titles.
Mhm.
To be like season 1 is just all our random movies that we did, and then season 2 would be the Star Wars. And
Well, put them
season
in
3 would
playlists. You don't even have to change them. Just put them in playlists.
True, but I'm just saying that would like give it like an identity of like, oh, this is our season of this. This is our season of that.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could work. And then you could also just put it in the playlist as well as that.
Yeah.
This way they can easily find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that stuff because it gives it easier to like for us to get something cohesive moving forward. It gives it a focus. It gives it, hey, I want to see what about this one. It kind of gives like a easy
Yeah.
progression way forward.
Whew.
Let's see. That's all, folks.
What
What do you guys want to hear? Leave a comment for a series you'd like us to do. Oh, do all these movies or these style of movies. We could do like a month
As
of
long
horror.
as they're not Twilight.
We could do. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That'd be tough. Maybe that's like a goal, right? If we ever actually reach, what do you think? Like we're not popular, so I don't want to make it too lofty. 1,000 subscribers. We'll do Twilight.
Oh god, 1,000? Yeah, that's about right.
We do 1,000 subscribers. We'll do the Twilight series.
Yes.
Okay, that seems fair. And
I
then
think
yeah,
really
we could.
big though, because we grow really slowly.
Right, so that's why I say it'll be at least a year or two before that even happens, if it does.
Yeah.
So we got plenty of time to avoid that. Leave a comment too if you like whatever. Ooh, try these, then we'll try and make them either milestone goals or something.
Yeah, we're at 22 right now.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. But as always, love you guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Engagement is good.
Or leave a what was it? A dislike. Yeah, hit the dislike button. Engagement is good.
And we'll see you in the next one.